is fun to learn. And it's only not fun, I think, because of the conditioned narratives we have based on when we... Here's the thing. When you know the word sin, the actual Greek meaning, the origination of sin, meant to miss the mark. And it was an archery term. I've actually lectured on that before. But we don't equate our mistakes or the things that we do that are wrong as simply as, oh, I just missed the mark. Let's try it again. And if you want to think about it in acting terms, that's all it is. You just hit your mark, and sometimes you miss the mark. You don't get all bent, well, sometimes we get all bent out of shape about it. But last night I was teaching a class, and this thing about if you're not going to be teachable and you don't want to learn, to me, it makes me wonder, well, what does that come from? And I started to think, well, when we hear feedback, or you hear a note, or you know something is amiss, but you're not quite sure what it is, you're not really processing it from that place of, oh, I just missed my mark. Instead, you're processing it from that conditioned narrative that you are based in shame, that there's something inherently wrong with you, that when somebody says, oh, you could have done it this way, or whatever a note is, it actually triggers an incorrect narrative. And actually, the older I get, or maybe this year especially for me, I've just been unraveling and discovering I have so much shame about so much stuff that really keeps me in prison. And it's all based on, they're all based on lies, really. They're based on narratives that have been passed on from generation to generation to generation, that I've been co-opted, then I've made my own personal narrative, and I have nothing to feel shameful about. You guys, if you err, it just means you missed your mark. That's all it is. You missed your mark. So then you get a second chance to do it again. So I think it's really important not to take it personally and allow it to become an indictment against who you are, but that's what the brain wants to do. Just means, oh, let's try it again. You know, I filmed this weekend, and I guess I'm thinking about it in filming terms. If I filmed with Verity, if she missed her mark or whatever, we'd just try it again. It's not that big of a deal. You have to be gentler with self, is really another way of saying it. You have to be gentler with self. The last part, these aren't really connected, but this came to me last night. I guess I don't know. It floored me, and I had to take a moment. These were all things that happened in an intro class last night. I've talked about this before, but I guess I just process it in a different way, because again, I'm getting older. Listen, the planet has been around scientifically, the measurements they've taken, for 4.5 billion years. Now, if you can get your head around that, this might induce a little bit of anxiety, but it also might free you up. Carl Sagan did this, he had a research, if you remember Carl Sagan. He computed that all of human history, if the Earth is 4.5 billion years, all of human history would be the scale of the size of your hand. That's it. That's how small humanity is in the scope of things. And check this. Your time, I just spit. Your time here, the general lifespan of most human beings is 1/4 of a second. Intense. So what the F are you doing with your life? If all really were here for a 1/4 of a second, kids, the thing I said last night is you are the only you ever created since the beginning of time 4.5 billion years ago into perpetuity, long past you leave this planet. You as you know yourself in this incarnation, you're the only you. And you're only here for 1/4 second. What are you doing worrying about things you have no business worrying about? What people think about you, what people say about you, people's opinions of you, trying to get them to like you. Do it for self. That's all I have to say. That's a powerful 2-minute lesson. 1/4 of a second!